And, hey everyone! Hi friends. So I'm going to give y'all a second to get on because I didn't do the prep work as early as I usually do. Hi guys. Hi. We have a very special guest in the house, literally. In the house, literally. Hi friends. So we're going to just kick back today. We're just going to talk a little bit about humor, or we're going to do humor because we're hilarious.
At this time of the morning,
I
I'm
think so.
hilarious.
I
Okay.
think so.
I
think so.
believe in me
You
and you.
We
I
can't
believe in us.
we can't do it. We're gonna do humor. We're gonna talk a little bit about healing, what I don't know and what Roshni does know, and then we're just gonna talk to you guys to see what's going on with y'all today. We're gonna probably keep famous last words. We're gonna probably keep it short. And that's what's happening today. Hello, friends. Let's introduce some people. Hello, friends. My name is Stephanie. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I help Black women take a sabbatical, move abroad, house sit. I'm the creator of House Sitter School, the co-creator of Exodus Summit, and I believe in doing as little as possible. If that sounds good to you, subscribe to this YouTube channel, please, and turn on notifications so that you'll be notified when I go live with a special guest. Welcome, special guest.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rushni, known on the internet as Glamazini. I am a video creator. I make funny and inspiring videos on Tabitha Brown's internet, and I help Black women heal.
Yes. Yeah, right. Okay. So we're in the same house. We're in the house. Okay. So we're in exotic Joshua Tree, California. We're actually going to a meetup this evening in Palm Springs, California. And so we've been hanging out in the desert for a while, doing desert stuff like killing bugs.
Yes, yes. And last night I went to a sound bath
Yes.
at 9 p.m.
Yes.
In the darkness, and it was an adventure.
How was it?
It was amazing. It was a little weird, but I think the lady isn't charging enough money for what she gave
Oh,
us. Yeah, it was a lot. It was amazing, and the night sky was breathtaking. Being from the Virgin Islands and living in Missouri, you don't see the stars, you guys. And imagine lying out in the middle of the desert with about 10 other people with a nice small white lady ringing gongs over you physically and, and looking up at the Big Dipper.
oh,
It was
okay.
heavenly.
And so what did you expect the sound bath to be? Did you know what a sound bath
Okay,
was?
yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing about putting intentions out into the universe, letting God know what you want. I absolutely know what a sound bath is.
Okay.
I wanted to do sound baths years ago, and the pandemic stopped my groove, my friend and I. So earlier this year, I found a place that's local to where I live, which
Okay.
is in St. Louis, Missouri. Went down there, and she wasn't doing a sound bath, but she was demonstrating the singing bowls.
Yeah.
And so I got to learn how to play the singing bowls. She was
Okay.
also selling them. I got to stand in a bowl and she played it and gonged it and it vibrated up my body, which if you've never had that happen, it's amazing.
Okay.
Doesn't sound like much, but it's like being surrounded by sound and vibration.
Okay.
And then she, chimes and the whole thing. I also found somebody in St. Louis and recently was like, when I get back from this trip, I'm going to contact her and book a session. So when yesterday our roommate said, hey, I booked a session for a sound bath in the middle of the desert, you guys. I'm talking nighttime, darkness, strangers in the desert. I was like, sign me up. Where's the link?
Yeah.
Because as Stephanie said, this sounded like abundance to me. It sounded like alignment to me. And it was easy, like you always say, right?
Yeah.
I went straight to it and it was amazing. It was amazing.
I'm glad. I'm glad. Yeah. Sometimes you have to let things fall into your lap, right?
Yeah, we've been talking so much about flow on this trip, you guys,
Mm-hmm.
and allowing, first of all, being like courageous enough to speak what you want
Right.
out to other people,
Right.
and not just to other people, but to yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so I don't think it's a coincidence that myself, Freshny, who was looking for a sound bath
Mm-hmm.
and who was willing to go to a sound bath in a building in Missouri,
Yeah.
was offered a sound bath in the middle of the desert under the stars in Joshua Tree. I don't think that's strange.
No. Okay, so let me tell you my sound bath story. The sound of the singing bowl, not sound bath story, the singing bowl story. To me, the sound of singing bowls is like an orchestra preparing to make music. Okay.
But they haven't gotten there
And
yet.
they don't make any music. And I don't feel anxiety generally in my life and in my body. I
Yeah,
don't,
yeah.
but I know what it feels like. And I get so anxious. My body is like, when does the song start? The whole time. When does the song start? And so,
Well, good news for you. Our happy sound bath lady also had music.
okay.
So listen, it was a whole vibe. Do you hear
Okay.
me? She started with the bowls. Well, let me start over. She actually had a standing bowl. So you guys, imagine me talking to someone about standing bowls, which is a giant bowl that you stand in and they ring.
And not the normal
And
sound
gongs,
bath
yeah, and not the
experience.
small ones. And the first thing we did was each and every single one of us stood in a bowl and she played it.
Oh,
Yeah. So
okay,
she
good.
had it was an experience. Okay. So that was there. She did her sound bowls, what you probably say sounds like the beginning of an orchestra.
Yeah.
We were all lying on. It was a enclosed space that she had made, no roof, but enclosed area in the desert. Very clean, tarps down with lots of blankets, and then individual sleeping bags with crystals on the pillow. It was beautiful.
Okay.
Places to put your shoes, the whole thing.
Okay.
And there was music. So she eventually brought in music. Listen, she had drums. Oh, girl. At one point, I came back into my consciousness and she was ringing some kind of xylophone over me, like a whole body experience. Okay. And I thought she is not charging us money
Okay.
for what she is doing.
Okay,
She
good.
was squatting next to me with drums. There was music playing. She tried to sing. Tried. God bless it. But
let it be.
she wasn't charging enough. It was wonderful.
Okay, that's good news. That's great news. Yeah, you never know. You never know. Okay, good. And Helenista says like a baby in the womb. Okay, so that I can understand. I can understand the draw, like the appeal.
Yeah. We were also near a vortex. I'm still not sure what the whole vortex thing is about. I feel healed. I don't know.
Okay, good news. Okay, all right. Yeah. SLS Forever says that sounds similar to lying under a piano while somebody plays. You feel every vibration.
You
Okay.
feel the vibrations. And that was the part I didn't expect. Even when you're playing the bowls, which we didn't do yesterday, but when I was doing it in St. Louis, I was actually more in love with how soothing the vibration of the bowls felt going through my arm. And I was just standing there saying, I didn't expect this. This is wonderful. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. All right. Friends are giving some suggestions on some other things that you might want to try.
Somebody says she tried to sing. Listen, she attempted a musical number of her own in honor of the ancestors, she said.
Oh,
And I let her. Okay, but listen, I let her. It's her experience. Who is me to judge? But when I tell you the notes were not, I don't know. Listen, let me stop. Sit.
because her ancestors were
Girl.
the wrong ancestors.
You want to be snapped out of a meditative experience? I was like, what is going on? And then I said, you know what? God bless it. I'm grateful for this experience.
She had the wrong ancestors. Good morning, friends. So some of you, hi, friends. So let me introduce to you Roshni. Okay, so a more prepared person would have Roshni's name on the screen. You know Roshni as Glamazini on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on the internet. And she's here with me. So I decided to move some relationships in person, right? Moves, let's see, I don't even know how to do that, this text, right? I decided to move some relationships in person. And so I invited Roshni to come and join Katrina and me in the desert.
In the desert. Last year, I stumbled on Stephanie's videos, like most of you, right? YouTube was like, I think you'll like this. No, I don't even know what the first video was, right? I was picking up what she was putting down. So I started watching all her videos, immediately reached out to her and was like, hey, I'm me. And I do, videos. Oh, I think you have a little, A-Z-I-N-I.
Spelling. We're going to spell it.
And I reached out to her, you guys, and Stephanie was like, ma'am, I know who you are. So anyway, she came live on my channel last year. It was amazing. We were running our mouths before the live. We were running our mouths on the live. We were running our mouths after the live. And Stephanie was like, you are my friend now. And I was like, cheers.
We're friends, yes.
I'll allow it.
We're friends now. Yes. I was in Curacao during the live stream. I was staying in a hostel and I was trying to figure out where to be quiet, where to be that it would be quiet.
It's I-N-I at the end of Glamazini.
I just put in all,
Yeah.
I did the A. No,
Yeah,
little I.
there we go.
I could do it.
There we go.
Morning. Good
You
morning.
should have had coffee.
I know. Well, I can't do coffee before the live stream. Or during the live stream, because I'll just be like,
like me over here with 2 beverages.
coffee.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Rashni has a YouTube channel, Glamazini. So I don't know that you know this. When I went natural in 2009, I'm going to say, everybody on YouTube in the natural hair world that I knew was always doing the most.
The most.
Right? And I think you're the first person I followed who
that was
didn't
doing the least.
Yeah, right. Who was like, let's do some easy stuff. Let's put some twists in our hair and leave these twists in for a couple weeks,
and then
right?
and then take them out and wear a twist out.
Yes.
How about that?
And then you have the twist out, right?
And then pin the sides up and wear that. And then pin the back up.
Yes.
And then put a head wrap.
We're getting 8 looks from
from
one piece of effort, right?
That is me.
Yeah.
That is me.
Yeah, right. So natural hair is how I knew your channel originally. Yeah, and you were a person who gave me. So people always talk about you gave me permission, but you're a person who gave me permission to do things my way, to do my hair my way instead of doing the most. Because if I had to always do the most, I might be relaxed today, or I might be, just a person who resented my hair.
And that's beautiful because I started at the Natural Hair Channel, like Stephanie said, and I was just documenting what I was doing, figuring out my hair. And I do remember when did I start on YouTube? It was a long time ago. But I remember when it went from a community of women figuring it out to an aspirational community.
Okay.
And yeah, I do remember thinking, this is not for me. I'm not going to flourish in this because I just want to show you guys how to have healthy hair and do the least. And you're right. My thought process is, how can I milk this hairstyle for all it's worth?
Yes. That's right. That's right. That's ease, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that when you get into, when you start something new, you naturally do the most. I think that's normal, right?
And some people's personalities are that.
Yes.
Some people's personalities go hard in the paint and they feel like they have to perform in all the areas. Yeah. And especially a Black girl and her hair, a Black girl and her hair. You know, there's so much put on us about our hair. Rightfully so, though. Yeah. Some of that is generational trauma that has been passed down. Yeah. I don't know why I didn't fully get the memo on the trauma, because something about me felt entirely comfortable sitting out here. I guess back then it was Al Gore's internet, with my little camera in my medicine cabinet with my hair, not done, as they would say, just figuring it out on a camera. So, and I'm not gonna lie, even though I no longer put up hair content, you know how you take credit for your clients' successes? Yes. I'm not gonna lie. That's right. And listen, if you don't know who I am, I love you, but I'm speaking truth, okay? Every time I see women out here with their hair natural, I take a little bit of credit for it. Because when I tell you I've been out here in the paint, okay, for 2 decades, posting before YouTube existed on the internet, how to do stuff. I know people who told me they met their husbands because of me. People, listen, I got all kind of accolades behind my name. And I see young girls, adults, people out with hairstyles that did not exist in our society before 4 or 5 of us were on the internet figuring it out. That's right. Every time I see a product that says the word shea butter in the store, I feel like I had something to do with it. Because when I started, we were importing shea butter straight from the source. Going to the store, the African store, calling a friend to mail us shea butter. You know what I mean? Yeah. Whipping it up on the internet, straining out twigs and rocks. I was straining out things. So yeah, the fact that people can walk into the store and just buy all this goodness and take care of their hair, or I see twist outs everywhere. I did that. That wasn't sort of, kind of.
That wasn't a thing.
Out there, I did it.
So in 2009, I was 30. I don't know. I was way.
Time is a social construct. It doesn't exist.
I was super adult. I was put well into adulthood, and I didn't know. Like I knew from having foster sisters and little cousins and nieces. I knew what to do with hair to put it away, right? But I
That's
didn't.
what we learn.
Yeah,
We learn to constrain our hair.
yeah.
We learn to tame our hair. We learn to assimilate our hair. You know the stuff to the proximity to something that looks professional. And if I don't know if I have it live, it might be unlisted. I promise you, there's probably a 15-year-old video on my YouTube channel of me talking about natural hair in the workplace,
Yeah.
sitting in my guest bathroom with a whole twist out.
Yeah.
Just like they gonna have to choke. Like my my sentiments, I worked a corporate job. I'm not in that job right now. I was in full out, you go to the office, corporate America. I am old enough that when I started, we had to wear suits.
Okay.
I was in that corporate
Wear
America.
suits, okay.
And when I tell you I immediately cut all my hair off and was showing up in the office ball. Came in on Friday with relaxed hair down to here. Came in on Monday with my hair shaved off. And wish somebody would say something to me. I was that chick at the office. Grew it out, and I was like, they gonna just have to choke. So people would inbox me and be like, how, what? And I'm just like, I don't, it's a mindset change. It's what I would tell people. I'm like, it's a mindset change. It's an aesthetic change. It's, I didn't even have the words for healing back then. I just knew that it was an internal work for you to walk into the office like this. And now, you know, a decade and a half later, you see these campaigns by Dove and all these companies. And I'm like, part of me is like, also, I laid the foundation for that. Listen,
Yeah.
I'll take it
Come
all.
back. That's
I'll take.
right. There's a movement, right? When you have a big role in a movement, you get to take all the credit.
Hello. I'm like, hello. So when Stephanie emailed me last year, and she was like, girl, why are you introducing yourself to me? I know who you are. I think you said something like, you're the reason why I have hair on my head. And I was like, oh. See, I don't assume any. I was like, hello, my name is Rhett.
My name is Roshni.
I would love to have you as a guest. And she was like, girl, you are why I'm not bald.
I don't really remember you. I don't remember you. I need to go back and find that email. I don't remember
them choke. You do that. Listen, that's the vibe I'm on, y'all,
Yeah.
in 2023.
That's right.
Because code switching, being too used, is exhausting.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to purge. You don't even realize that you're doing it. Last week, I was making a joke in a Facebook group. I had the perfect end for the joke in the comments, but it was AAVE, and I knew the lady wasn't going to get it because we had been going back and forth. And so I switched it to a Taylor Swift lyric because I wanted the joke to land. But in all honesty, it diminished my joke. And so I had to go to another space of Black people and really talk about it, about how my joke had been diminished by the fact. And I said, y'all, that's enough code switching for the month.
Yes.
I said the rest of the month, let them choke.
So I've never really thought about this, but I think the natural hair community is also why Black women feel fine today having spaces online for Black women. I think.
It's definitely, let me think. I haven't thought about this either. If it's not the reason, it is definitely a seminal reason.
Okay.
We definitely were one of the first groups of women who just found each other. Listen, we found each other on Fotkey. I don't know who's on this live, but if anybody was on Naturality forums and like Fotkey picture board, my first version of a website was a hand-coded HTML website.
Okay.
Okay. Hand-coded.
Okay.
There was no Facebook. There was no nothing. There was just me trying to figure out my hair and trying to find other Black women. Southern Rose T&D, hi, boo-boo, hi. Yeah, she's always in my life. Okay.
Oh, good.
So, yeah, I think we started finding each other. And then we started fighting that there was power in finding each other.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
So that, you might be onto something. I've never thought about that.
Me neither, until just now. Profound, like profound. This is the power of two YouTubers.
And it's the power of community, because you might not be able to find your community. I shouldn't say might. Many of us haven't found our community in real life.
That's right.
But boo-boo, this is the first time Stephanie and I have actually met each other in person.
Yeah.
And I'm parked up in this beautiful Airbnb.
For days and days.
She was like, you want to come? I was like, drop the link. How do I? Yes, the answer is yes.
Do you want to? Hello, roommate. Hi.
Where you going?
Do you want to? You don't have to. Do you want to say hey?
Hey, everybody.
Okay. Hey, everybody. There's a third roommate here. Yeah, yeah. So like I said, I decided that I was going to take some things more real life this year. I read something that said we were in a loneliness epidemic, an
Epidemic, yeah.
epidemic of loneliness.
And last year I did a whole month. So we didn't talk about this, but I used to have a coaching group and do one-on-one. I'm not doing it this year for reasons. But last year I focused an entire month on Black women and friendships. And to this day, literally yesterday, somebody watched one of the old videos and was like, oh my God, this is helpful. And it's because about it
Yeah.
is because we have moved so much of our, in my opinion, our social needs to tech,
Yeah.
that we are either missing or do not know how to build in real life connections.
Right.
And studies show that people who are healthier and report more happiness, who are physically healthier, which is measurable, and report more contentment and happiness in their life,
Yes.
tend to live in cultures that promote community.
Yes.
And so I've actually been having the same thought, which is I am really good at having online communities that support me. But sometimes when you're sick, you just need somebody to bring you soup. You need like a human, like an in-person connection with people and not just pixels on a screen. So I have also been trying to be more intentional, which is why when you wrote me, I was like, "Oh yeah, that's an easy win."
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. So we hadn't met till Rashni walked into the airport, and she said, Rashni said, so here's how. If you think it's strange that she would say yes to come and stay here for days and days without having met me before, here's what I can tell you about Rashni. She walks up to us at the airport and she says, "Oh wait, stand right here. My friend from the plane needs to meet you before we can leave the airport. My friend is really worried about me, and so I need her to meet you to see that I'm safe, that we're safe, together before we can leave the airport."
And then
And this friend was who?
Joyce, a nice 80, I think she told me 82-year-old white lady who I met in the Denver airport. And when she walked up to you, do you remember what she said?
I saw, you're the one who was doing your hair on the.
Aren't you
on
the
YouTube.
one that was doing your hair on the live? Okay, because I had already showed Joyce Stephanie on the live. Stephanie was putting in some
These
leave-in
twists.
conditioner.
I
And
was
I was
doing
like,
this on Instagram.
listen, I had talked to Joyce. Me and Joyce, Joyce gave me everything. She gave me her first, her last, her phone number, and her address on a piece of paper.
So Rashni is a person who who
Beautiful
makes friends.
80-year-old.
She makes friends quickly.
I wasn't trying to
easily.
though.
I say
I was
easily.
trying to space out.
You were-
I was absolutely trying to space out because on the previous flight I got by somebody too. I was minding my business, y'all. I was listening to my little audio book. I was in the zone. Okay.
So what we're learning is that when you are just feeling a little more peaceful, people will just want to claim you, right? People will just snatch you
That
up.
must have been what it was because both of them started talking to me. And typically, people don't, I shouldn't say that. Typically, when I'm in that zenned out, don't approach me space, people don't approach me. Especially
okay.
because I'm tall, I'm 6'1", so that's a little, But yeah.
I'm average height. Thank you.
Y'all, okay.
Average height gang.
Let me tell y'all something I've learned about Stephanie, which is a gift. And also, listen, when Stephanie, and y'all know this because y'all watch her videos, when Stephanie decides what reality she lives in, she is there. Okay? It don't matter if I'm standing next to her, she look like she looking in my eyeballs and I'm 6'1". She's standing next to me talking about, "I'm average height, ma'am. We are looking at each other right here. You're just a little lower than me." But listen, when she's there, she is peaceful and settled in that space. Amen.
Yes, amen. Rashni is as a Taurus. Rashni just had a birthday.
I did.
Happy birthday, Taurus team. I'm a Cancer, and I do really very well with Tauruses.
You know what? I don't know if I realized that. I've always wanted a Cancer.
Oh, hi, love. Yeah, Cancers
I have
are
because I read
Cancers
that
are-
Cancers are really good with Tauruses.
Yes, it's true. It's true. Yeah. Yes, we just let you be. Taurus, it's always got to be a little bit extra, a little bit.
That's what you say. But you know what? It makes life interesting.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I'm here.
Listen,
I'm here for it.
this has been, I'm being serious for like 2 seconds. This has been amazing. I came out here. We have found beautiful restaurants.
Yes.
We have done a lot of nothing, which is also my vibe. Okay. Stephanie is my kind of traveler because I've traveled with people who are very heavy on activity.
Yeah.
And I get tired. Okay. I want to go lay down. All right. I want to go lay down. So Stephanie has a perfect balance of like, we gonna do nothing.
Yeah. Yep. And then we might do nothing outside.
We did
in the
nothing
backyard.
outside yesterday. It was amazing. Okay. We did nothing inside the day before. We wanted to go to the grocery store, but not when Instacart. Stephanie sat right at this table. Listen, when I tell y'all what Stephanie's telling y'all on these internet streets is what she's doing in real life. She was like, do y'all want to go to the grocery store? Is that the easiest way? And then she immediately was like, Instacart will deliver it to our Airbnb.
That's right. Antonio.
And
Thanks, Antonio.
yes, a nice gentleman brought me my Meyer lemons.
Yes. Yes, y'all have had water, lemon water all the live long day. All right. So I saw a comment on here about Flickr Vibe.
Oh my son. Wow, you've been rocking with me. Guess what though, girl? He's about to be 11.
I can't believe that. That's not right.
Girl, 11. Yeah, he's about to be 11. What you doing the math for? You don't think I know? 2012.
Time is so crazy.
2012. Told me he wasn't going to live past 3 days. That was a lie. See, that's why you can't listen to people.
That's right.
'Cause
Reality.
listen.
Reality is
you got to
whatever you say.
decide where you going to be and living in. Them people told me if he lives, that's my son, by the way. I'm sure you guys picked that up. If he lives, it's going to be 3 days and there will be no more child. And I said, well, I mean, if that's going to happen, then God's going to have to do that. And there is a amazing 10-year-old at my house, being watched by my husband, by the way. Hey, Shanta.
Yes, so Mother's Day done right.
Mother's Day. I know. When I booked, Stephanie was like, just so you know, like, as long as you're okay with the fact that Mother's Day is during this trip. And I was like, ma'am, the operative word is Mother's Day. Okay? I am the mother. And on my day, I will be in Joshua Tree. Okay. I told my husband and my son, I was like, I'm going to check y'all next week. Next week, we going out to eat. Because I'm not going to forfeit the celebration of me in person. I'm going to get both. I can have it all.
This was not an either or situation.
Hello? I was like, girl, yeah, I'm going to be right with you on Mother's Day. I'm going to call my mother. We're going to celebrate her. Okay.
I know, but it doesn't seem right. I saw a video of you guys together, and he was doing very tween things, rolling his eyes at you. And I was like, how did we get here already?
No, so this is the thing. I don't know if anybody has ever had doctors say something tragic and negative to them, and they shape the reality that you think is your portion.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So these people gave me tragedy, doom, and gloom. I thought I was either going to be burying a kid, and on the very, very slight chance that he lived, they told me I was going to have a nonverbal vegetable. That was their words.
Okay.
Who couldn't even hold up his head. That was their words.
Oh, my.
Okay? And what I have is what you saw.
Mr. Attitude.
So, first of all, his joke timing is impeccable. And I don't know, I forget I'm his mom. So when he hits me with the joke or like the little snide, like pre-teen thing, I want to celebrate him. And then I'll be like, that was amazing. And then I'll be like, oh, no, I'm his mom. I'm supposed to be. Okay, don't say that. I have to correct him. I'll be like, where are his parents? Oh, it's me. So
somebody tell this boy.
And he thinks it's funny. He thinks it's funny that the doctor said he couldn't talk. He thinks it's funny.
Thinks that's funny.
So yeah, you're right. All of the developmental. Now there are some delays in his development. Don't get me wrong. But you know me, I like to look at the light side of the thing, right? What I have is much more than they told me I was going to have.
Yes.
Which is oftentimes what happens when you choose to live in this space.
Yeah.
It's like, listen, it's much more. I have a fun-loving little boy who is turning 11 years old, like Stephanie said, who be hitting me with all of the normal stuff when I try to embarrass him. And he's like, oh my God, mommy, not that again. Oh my God, mommy, are you serious? Like all of that. And I always think to myself, I prayed for that. So I just enjoy it.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah, we get caught up. Sometimes it's easy to get caught up in the work of a thing and forget about the joy of the thing.
You have to.
Yeah.
My son uses a wheelchair, you guys. My son has a custom rainbow wheelchair because if you're going to do it,
Yes.
You might as well do it well. Okay.
Very Taurus of you.
Girl, a custom rainbow. Okay. Because you have not, because you asked not. And we asked the wheelchair guy, and he said they can't make a rainbow wheelchair. But guess what? He was wrong.
Okay.
You have to ask a new question. Okay, I'm about to preach. I call the manufacturer. Is that a Taurus thing?
Probably.
I went past the wheelchair guy.
Because I would go with the flow. I
Because
would just put a whole bunch of stickers on
Because
it.
when I opened the catalog for the wheelchair, I saw all the colors. So all the colors were available to me.
Okay.
He was just telling me he didn't know how to put them colors together. So I called the company that made the wheelchair. This is gonna help somebody.
Okay.
Somebody, and listen, this is gonna help somebody. Okay. I went past him because anything is possible.
Yes.
And I called them and I said, hi, we're trying to order through this company. I know I can't directly order from you. However, I have a question. My son wants a rainbow wheelchair. Can you do this? And they said, well, we've never had anybody ask that before. What do you mean? I explained to them exactly what I meant. Yeah. And they said, we will absolutely do it. However, you have to tell us where to put all the colored pieces.
Okay.
And you have to sign off and you cannot return it.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Custom.
That sounds like a yes to me. And at this very moment, there is a rainbow wheelchair with a cute kid. What's today? Saturday. I don't know what day it is. Okay, he's at home. I was going to say he's at school, but he's not. Okay, custom rainbow wheelchair with colored blinking wheels on the front.
Okay.
You know, you got to put a little shump to them. A little shump to them. Okay, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, sometimes when life gives you lemons,
Yeah.
girl, this lemonade is amazing. I put Prosecco in this lemonade.
That's right.
Okay. I got sugar around the rim of this lemonade.
Yes, indeed.
You ain't gonna
Yes,
play
indeed.
me, life. I told you yesterday. I said the devil keep trying to knock me out. He thought
very discouraged.
I'm one of them dolls. I'd be like, bam, I'm back up. What's next?
He is very discouraged at this point. All right, I'm going to link to Rashni's channel as an experienced YouTuber. I should have had this ready. Okay.
Okay, Stephanie, can I out you about something?
What?
What's going on with these tabs?
No, it's just a few. I have just a few tabs. This is probably average, but it gets worse.
Let me share something with y'all. First of all, this is an act of love. I don't even watch Stephanie's videos live Central Standard Time.
Yep.
I catch the replay. Okay. I'm the head usher of second service. Okay. I'm moseying into my office if it's one of her shorter lives, the 2-hour lives, the shorter ones, I might catch like the last 3 minutes. But if she did an hour and a half, I am not there with you guys. I'm not. Okay. I come in late. So when we did the math on this, and she was like, I want you to do it. And I was like, what time? Wait, what time is it in PST? I've been bamboozled. I've been led astray.
Even I was like,
it's 7 in the morning.
7 o'clock. We're in California.
Ooh.
Wait, we're okay. I guess we'll do it. And then last night I was like, well, I'll go to bed early while they're singing with the lady.
Girl, we out in the bush.
I'll go to bed early, and then I created havoc in the house and had to get up at what was it? Probably close to midnight.
Probably.
And undo the damage try to undo some of the damage that I'd done in the house. I had left so we have a gate that you have to manually open when you drive in and out. So I said, I'm going to be a helpful person. I'm going to go open the gate so that they can drive out to go sing with the lady. And while I did that, I didn't close the front door tight. By the time I walked back in the house, like 60 seconds, 2 minutes later, there are bugs everywhere. Every bug from the desert has decided to take refuge inside of our Airbnb.
Because it's nice.
It's beautiful.
Stephanie has amazing taste. It's very nice in here, you guys.
It's lovely. And they were like, what y'all got in here? So crickets, things that...
Some spider-like situations. Little
moths,
black things.
A whole bunch of moths.
There's a moth over there on
everything.
You see that one? They on the curtain living their best life. I left them alone though.
Yeah, they can live. So I got up and was killing bugs at midnight, and so even for me this morning, I was like 7 o'clock.
Well, that's because
we gonna make it.
We were asleep. When we came home, we were just moseying along, living our best life, and I was like, oh, there's one bug in my room. Well, that's kind of normal. Every night I kill one little bug. Then there were 2. Then there was like 5. And then a spider ran by, and I jumped up and I was like, wait a minute. What's going on?
I was like, this
And
spider's,
then
that's that
Stephanie
spider's last breath.
listen, Stephanie came straight out the room in her night clothes,
With a
barely
shoe.
with a
With one
shoe,
shoe.
just swinging. And I was like, what's happening? She's like, I left the door open. Yeah, that was an adventure. We're here now, though.
Yes, we made it.
And I've been caffeinated and hydrated.
Yeah, we made it. Yeah. So Roshni's channel is Glamazini. She's Glamazini all over the internet. Go ahead and go over to subscribe. So we talked about how Roshni was a pioneer of the natural hair movement, okay? But that's not her thing now.
No, it's not.
Because you can grow and you can evolve and you can change and you can try new things.
Yes.
So what do you talk about over there today?
So I evolved to humor and health, basically coaching, healing. And the reason why I evolved to humor was very organic because even though I try to be serious, apparently I fail. And so I just leaned into it.
Yeah.
Right? I was trying to, okay, let's go back. You have the natural hair community. Everything starts becoming more curated, more aspirational. Everybody buys a ring light and has a full face of makeup while they're washing their hair.
Yes.
And I said it. Yeah, I said it. I don't care. It's happening. People are beat to the gods and they're washing their hair with lighting in a bathroom. And I think for a season, I thought, well, maybe that's what I have to do too, right? And it didn't feel right. And Stephanie and I have been having conversations about, even though, like, you know, being all dolled up could be what everyone else is doing, it didn't align with me back then. And so I realized that a lot of times people were commenting about me making them laugh when I wasn't trying to. I was not. I was trying to be serious. And then the comments would be like, you are hilarious. And I'm like, but I'm trying to like deliver a curated, pristine, buttoned up video. And y'all need to focus, you know? So eventually I just started just leaning in that direction.
Stop fighting it.
Stop fighting it.
Yeah.
I just started blabbing my mouth and putting up videos and started having unintentional, funny clips out of old lives from Periscope. Honestly, is how it started.
Okay.
Chopping it up on Periscope. Something crazy came out my face. I chopped it up, threw it on Facebook. Millions of views. What just happened? And something in my head was like, oh, this is more your lane.
Yeah.
This is more your lane.
Yeah.
And I am perpetually and infinitely interested in healing, which is the new term that I use for what I've always been doing. Evolving, growing, and returning to yourself.
Yes.
Right? I feel like a healing journey, which is if you go to all my platforms now, it says a Black woman healing. Emphasis on the ing. ing. Look at laughing at. Because yesterday I said something crazy, a little opposing to each other. You know, one me had said something that morning and the other me had contradicted herself that evening. And Stephanie was like, because, I mean, earlier you had, you know, she pointed it out. And I was like, if you notice, it says healing, which is a process. Amen. But it says a Black woman healing on all of my platforms. Because I finally realized that's what I was doing this whole time. I was doing it with my hair. I was doing it with my humor and like leaning into my personality and how I see the world. I was doing it with evolving and seeing where my, emotional wounds were and returning to myself. It's like a beautiful journey between the divine version of me and the version of me that exists right now.
Okay.
We're coming back together. And that's also what I like about your page, right?
Yeah.
Because that's a similar experience that you're having in a different lane.
Yes.
And so it's the thing that has always been, and still I'm not gonna lie, I have not yet met, but I pressed the board to mark, is there is this juxtaposition in me of serious and funny. I can't, you're never gonna get fully funny. Because I got all of a sudden I'm gonna switch over to what I'm doing right now.
There's something to say.
There's something to say. I need all of us to experience the freedom.
Yeah.
There's nothing more beautiful than going to the light side of life, and then you want all your sisters to see it.
Yes.
And you can hear the shadow in their conversations, and you're just like, boo boo. The light is here. And ironically, my name means light. Did
Oh,
you know
does it?
that?
I didn't know that.
My first name is a Hindu word. It means light of the morning. It means light that removes darkness.
Oh,
It's because there's different
yes.
types of light. Like glowing is light from within. They have different words like we do. Glowing is a light from within.
Okay.
My name, which is Roshni, but you know, black people, they say it however they want to. So
Yes.
we're gonna say my mother says Roshni. Okay, so
Okay.
y'all don't be out here calling me Roshni. Amen.
Okay.
And we'll spell it one way and say it another way. Okay.
Yes.
My name means literally, I have had Indian people explain this to me. It means there was darkness there, and this light illuminates it. It removes the darkness.
What a wonderful name to carry throughout the world.
Yeah, and it was
Throughout your
beautiful to
life.
find that out because I'm like, that's literally what I feel like I'm doing with me and sharing with other people.
Wow.
Why not? Right?
I
And that's what
love
you're
it.
doing
I
too.
love it. Yeah. My name means crowned with glory and honor. Stephanie.
I love
Thank
that
you,
for you.
Kylie. Thank you. Thanks, Mom. Yeah. Yeah. It's really it's really like you just once you find a thing, you really just want to share it, right? You just want everybody to be like, it's good over here.
Yeah.
Come over here.
You can how do I say that? When you are healing and further along on the journey, not far,
Yeah.
there is no end to the journey, which is why there is an ing, right? Because we're all on some path. We're all evolving, hopefully. Some of us more than others, some of us more intentionally than others, some of us own our agency more than others. But it's all a process. But absolutely, when you meet somebody who is, a few steps back or where
Yeah.
you were,
Yeah.
if you are, at least for me, it is imperative for me to see Black women heal.
Yes.
And the fact that I live in the same social settings and hear the same external voices telling us who we are, what our hair is, what our skin is, what our color is. Girl, listen, it's too much. Okay? And I don't want it. Like I'm just shedding all of that. And the minute that's why I talk about like feeling aligned a lot because I'm a Christian. And I feel like we are all created by a creator, and therefore we have creative power,
Yes.
right? And so the closer I get to the me he made me is divine alignment. That's exactly what it is. I am becoming more of who he made me to be, which is wholeness, which is healing,
That's whole.
right? And when you find people who are healing, they feel like peace.
Yes. Yes.
And it's beautiful. I love that for all of us. I want that for all of us.
That's right. Dr. Tama calls it homecoming, right?
That's nice.
Yeah, you're moving to so you described it as moving towards your more divine self. Yeah, that's all we want to do. Every round goes higher, higher. Yeah, that's all we want. So over on so Rashni's YouTube channel, of course, is Glamazini, and over on Rashni's YouTube channel, you will find a community of women who are. Well, let's talk about the community. Well, you will find a community of women who are on this same journey.
Yeah.
Just like we talked about having Black women having closed spaces, it's really important that you be in community with people who are on a similar journey as you, because you can feel like the weirdo, and you can feel like, the weirdo, the outcast, the whatever word you want to use. And when you get in community with other people on the same journey, you feel there's less like desire to go back, right?
Listen, there's nothing like we all need to be affirmed. That's what I heard when you were talking.
Yeah.
And in the year of our Lord 2023, there's so much opportunity for us to find affirming communities, specifically of Black women who are on a similar journey.
Yes.
Because it is not uncommon to be walking around in your real life being the only person doing this work.
That's right.
And when you are the only person doing this work, it can be so disoriented because the messaging that you are getting as a Black woman in the United States is typically not this. It's not elevating this journey for you. But as I told you, one of the things I love about Stephanie is Stephanie decides what reality she's in, and she lives in there. And I like her reality.
Thanks.
Amen. So I was like, let me come alongside that reality.
Yeah.
Because I hear a lot of voices, and it's well-meaning voices. I don't fault anyone, well-meaning in the generational sense. Older Black women, older family members, and not, I don't know if it's well-meaning outside of the generational sense, like other humans in different races. I don't know what their meanings are, but I'm just saying we can get it from our mothers, our grandmothers, because they're telling us what they did to
Right.
survive.
Right.
And I used to have an internal like anger or angst about that. I've moved on from that, and I understand they did the best they can.
Yes.
And I'm doing the best I can, and the generation after us will do something else. But I have to choose to get in community with people who are going in the direction that I'm going. I refuse. I will not live this life on the conveyor belt, just going down the conveyor belt, checking off these American dream boxes just to get to the end of the conveyor belt, like all these other people that I'm observing, and start fussing about the fact that America didn't give me what it promised me. No, boo.
Where's my reward?
Hello?
Where's my prize?
Hello? Sometimes it's not even about pushing against the current. It's about getting out of the river. Like some of us get, oh, I gotta make it stronger. Get stronger. Girl, get out of that. Get off of that. Create your own lane. And that's what communities like this offer us. People, it's like there's a conveyor belt taking people down, and you struggling and striving and grinding and I got to do another thing and get another thing and another thing. And then you look over and there's, girl, there's another river over here.
Yeah, people just floating.
Girl, there's people over here living
in their little
entire, right. And you just like, but how they get over there? Come over here. Yeah. The water is fine.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. And so again, community. We need community with people who are into our thing. And so Rajni's channel is a place where you can find that because they're really happy over there.
I'm trying to be serious.
Your subscribers, they're really happy.
I'm trying to be serious. You don't see it? You don't see the seriousness? I'm like a newscaster. That's how serious.
Oh, really?
I'm newscaster
in your
level.
Little suit. Yeah. Yeah. They're happy and they're into joy. You know, because sometimes you can be into growth and change, but you forget the joy. There's a woman who I really love her work, but I'm like, where's her joy? Right? Sometimes we can leave off that little piece. It seems like maybe to some people the least important piece. But I'm like, where's the joy? Where's the joy? And that's who your community is. There are women who we make space for it, hold space for it.
I think this is a theory. I might be wrong. I think that because us as Black women specifically, we are taught, I'm gonna say programmed to strive in every area. Some people come over to the healing space and strive in that space.
Yeah.
And so instead of experiencing life from a healed place, they are doing the work of healing, right? And I'm not gonna say that I wasn't that person for a while, because when you become aware, conscious of like, oh, this is something I have agency over. Oh, right? It can be disorienting. And then you hop over, and if you're a person who is that mindset, you want to fix it.
Right.
And you have to, what I've learned, and once again, I give everybody grace now. I'm like, listen, but what I've learned is you can't, the work, it's kind of like what we were talking about yesterday. You can't information hoard and never apply it.
You gotta apply it.
You can't information hoard and grind your healing work into a fine dust and never sit in the healing and live it. And that's where the joy part comes in. Sometimes you got to take breaks from this healing work. Listen, I love a good self-help book. I love it. I love a good nonfiction. Okay. I will listen to Andrew Huberman tell me all about my neurobiology. My husband is sick of me saying the word hippocampus. The way I be like, your amygdala, see, that's your amygdala is doing something right now and I don't need it, right? And he'll be like, babe, nobody says that. I'm like, but that's what's happening. Your amygdala.
Like, your eyes are a part of your brain. Andrew Huberman says, your eyes are a part of your brain.
Yes.
Take in information.
So that was how I knew I loved you. One day you said Andrew Huberman, and I was like, see you and Maki da da. Because listen, I will listen to all of it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Sometimes you need to grab a nonfiction book.
Yeah.
Boo-boo.
Yeah.
Black woman who's healing. Boo-boo, I don't know if you like salacious. I don't know if you like aspirational. You need to just grab a story.
Be in fiction.
And get
be
lost in a
land.
story. You need to just laugh. You know, I used to struggle with why it was that why I couldn't stay serious. Okay, but
Oh,
go
did
like,
you?
I'm trying to present. This was what this is a past tense. This is heels. This is heels.
Yes.
I was trying to present. Like, okay, well, I'm going to be a coach, and I'm going to be. People need to take me seriously.
Oh,
So
okay.
people need to whatever do all the whatever things, and then like the next video, I'd be dressed like a fly. Because like I had to get that out too. Okay. And then I realized, doesn't the Bible say that laughter does good like a medicine?
Yes.
And I'm like, you know what? God had to show me that literally there's a scripture up in the book that says laughter heals you.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I think that what I just realized that is part of my journey.
Yes.
I have to get that stuff out too. It's how I see the world. And when you share how you see the world with other people, it becomes contagious.
Yes.
And then they start seeing it that way too, which
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
You be get around Stephanie, and by the end of the year, you in Mexico.
You didn't quit that job.
Girl, you gone.
I'm surprised. I know you said like I tried to be serious, but I didn't believe you. I didn't know that had been a struggle of yours.
I was trying back in the day because like you have to, what it is the external voice is telling you this is how you do it. This is how you do it. And then you see other people doing well by doing that. At least, from your perception, you're watching it, from the outside. And so you think, okay, well, maybe this is why this isn't working. And this is why, whatever. Listen, Rebloom Room, that flight, let me tell you, can I just take a quick aside?
Please.
Because that's my greatest work. It's like EGOT level work in that flight video, okay? There's a video on the internet. It did better on Facebook than it did on YouTube.
Okay.
But listen, there's a video on the internet, you guys. A 6'1" tall Black woman, okay, who lives in a suburb of the Midwest. So I'm not around artsy people. Is dressed from head to toe like a fly. And what are you laughing at? Like, you see, I'm trying to be serious. So I had this in my spirit, okay, and I had to get it out, okay? It is a whole video. I was outside with this costume, y'all. Stephanie, what are you laughing at? Look at this quality. You got to get better lighting. This is my best work. And when I die, y'all, if any of y'all alive, I want them to play this out. When I tell you this is my best, this is EGOT level. I don't know why they haven't called me. I don't know, girl.
You need to put it in some.
Did you see the strainer? And my husband is in, I roped my husband into this. So this is what I'm saying. I used to have a little problem because I was like, Rashni, you are trying to heal the Black women. Mm-hmm. Also, you are dressed like a fly. Both of these are me. You've never seen that, girl. You need to listen to it. Look at that. Listen, look at that. Come on, camera angles. What you know about it? Look at me, girl. Anyway, so just, if you come over there was going to be seriousness and there might be shenanigans.
Yes, shenanigans is a great word.
I want you to know that the book I was reading was Lord of the Flies.
Oh, God.
You have to watch it when you have a moment. There was so much nuance. You know what I mean? There was a level of complexity.
The artistry.
I don't know why Cisco, do they still do Cisco and Eatbird?
The company does.
I don't know why they haven't called me. Because it's been on the internet for a while now.
You just need to get into festivals, film festivals first. That's the step, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, do you want to trade seats? Because we have a good lighting seat and a not great lighting seat.
No, that's fine.
I would like to do a trade seats moment.
Why? Because of the lighting?
Yeah.
No, I don't care. It's fine.
Okay.
You guys, I'm beautiful.
Yes.
Okay, don't let the lighting fool you. If I look raggedy on this video, you'll see another one where I look amazing. It's fine.
I didn't know you could just say that. You can just say, "Oh, I'm beautiful."
I am.
So don't let this. This isn't.
If this lighting isn't giving you what you needed, my screen name starts with glam. Yes. So just trust and believe that I am a. Let me show them this so that I can redeem myself. This is me. So that should fix it.
There's
all
the
up.
proof. That's
Listen,
it. Done. Okay.
I'm amazing. Okay, if I want to be.
Okay.
I know how to abase and abound. So if the
Okay.
lighting isn't giving you the glam that you needed, it's okay. God bless it.
Okay.
I also
So
didn't do any makeup today. I
yeah.
put on a mascara, but in here it's looking like it's looking. It's all right.
That's it. That's it. This is what we look like. This is what.
Listen.
Well, this is what I look like when I put on eyeliner because I just,
Oh, I want to out you on another thing. You guys, this is so much fun because I usually watch Stephanie's videos, but now I get to see the behind the scenes. When Stephanie tells you that she is running to the finish line, like there's no,
Oh.
she's not sitting here 15 minutes before this.
No, indeed.
She's not.
No, even though I do this every week. You would
Every
think
week.
you would think I would have
Every week.
it's a schedule.
Oh no, I thought maybe you were exaggerating a little bit. No, no. No, I was out here making coffee. I was out here, you know what I mean? And Stephanie came out. She set up her little situation right here, right quick. And I thought, oh, maybe I should take off my earrings because she has
no
on
earrings,
nothing.
no eyebrows.
Nothing. Nothing is happening right now. Okay. And she was like, give me 2 seconds. I gotta go look like a person. And I was like, wait, but the live's supposed to start in 3 minutes. Girl, I thought that was an exaggeration, a figure of speech.
No, indeed.
No, it's not.
No, many a time I have with Ecamm Live, you give your guest a link, and they,
Yeah.
Many a time the guest is sitting here like, is she gonna show up or? Because I'll be like, come 5 minutes early. No,
Yeah.
good. Well, I'm not even gonna be there. I'm not gonna be there.
Stephanie came out. I was like, oh, so we still doing it? And she was like, you still want to do the live? And I'm like, do you still want to do the live? Y'all would have gotten on this camera and I'd be like, hey, everyone, it's Rushni from Glamazini. I'll be like, wrong channel. Listen, Stephanie's asleep. Okay. She going to come in at 15 minutes later.
Yeah. We don't need a whole lot of prep work. I feel like sitting down in front of the camera and being prepared, is overrated.
I try sometimes to do it.
Yeah.
I said try.
Okay. So your routine looks like what? Before
a live. With a guest, it's different. It's kind of like what you said. I send out a little can thing and I tell them to be there. I actually am in the studio a lot earlier than 5 minutes. When you said 5 minutes, I was like, oh, girl, what about technical difficulties?
Oh.
And those people that don't know how to use technology. I sit in the studio for like 30, 20 minutes. I just open it up and tell them the studio will be available.
Oh.
I might still be doing that. Now, I might be setting up lights. They might get the edge scarf, depending on, the little tie down. I come in, the edge scarf is on, I'm setting up lights. But I have it there so that they can come. And I have had that save the day a few times where people are like, I can't get my sound. I can't. Right. And I'm just like, fix it. And, and chop it up too with people beforehand.
Yeah.
But if it's just me live, I know. Because it's just me.
Okay.
I'm just joking with you. I don't.
Yeah.
I park it up and I'm in my office. I'm not moving around like you. I love this little light. We're gonna have to have some technology conversations because Stephanie had a real, svelte filming situation because of her travel. But this light is everything.
Yeah, it does a lot of heavy lifting for me. That's where you have good skin compliments come from. It comes from that light.
Yeah. No, I'm in a sedentary spot. I'm in my office, right? So it's easy. I got a ring light turned backwards.
Okay.
Turn your ring light the other direction and bounce it off a white wall, you guys, and you don't get the reflection in your glasses, and it's soft in the light.
Lovely. Beautiful. All right.
Yeah.
YouTube pro tip.
Listen. and the background is already curated.
Right.
It's an intentional background, right? So that I can immediately just sit down and start talking. Now, whether or not I look like a human being.
Another story.
Is, but if I don't, I just cover it by saying, y'all, I'm beautiful.
I'm beautiful. Okay.
It's nothing that a head wrap or a conversation will not fix. Okay.
You got that right. Okay, good. Yeah, and right now I'm just looking at the actual screen that you're looking at for the first time and being like, oh, I really should have prepared. I should have cleaned my screen.
It's fine.
It's
above us now. We out here. We on the internet.
I'm like, let me.
You said Stephanie.
I pulled out my pack of tissues. I'm like, oh, I should have prepared this ahead of time. Sometimes I feel a little too laid back. I'll tell you that. I'm a very laid back person. And sometimes I'm like, that was probably a little over the line.
No, but listen, as a consumer of your content, your vibe is right, which is why we're here, right? Your vibe is right. You can feel your piece. And I think that some of the things that you think translate as laid back translate as acceptance.
Okay, good.
Right? It's like it's acceptance of self,
Yeah.
not feeling like you have to strive and do the most.
That's
So
right.
it goes perfectly with your brand. So
Okay.
you might think, oh, this, I should have, and it's like, no.
Okay.
And showing us, I will say us, because, I'm also one of your subscribers and I love your content, and showing us that it's possible.
Yeah.
Because we have to see that. There's so many, here I go serious again. Did you see it? Did you feel it happen?
Yes.
But I'm just saying, there's so many voices that tell us this is not possible.
Right.
Constant. You will hear it. Girl, you will be sitting on this live and you'll get off this live and get in a conversation with Pookie and them. And Pookie and them will be like, you can't do that. You got to buy this camera, do this, do that, this tripod, this, that, the other. You do not. Okay, boo-boo. If you have a cell phone and a window and a box,
That's it.
that's it, girl.
That's it.
Get on there and be your actual self.
That's right.
And let your people find you.
That's right. That's right. So we've talked a lot, we said the word community a lot of times, but don't forget that you can create that community by talking your talk on the internet.
Yeah.
That's what we did.
Yeah.
Right? We just got out here and said what we had to say. And people were like, oh, this is a place for me.
Yeah, and I'm not the only one. And I have had that thought. I house sat many years ago and I didn't even know it was a thing until Stephanie said there's a name for that. I had some friends, they were eloping. This was 20 years ago. They were eloping. They were going to get married. Girl, I don't know, on the hillsides of Greece. Girl, I don't know. I got a phone call and they was like, we need somebody to live in our condo for a couple weeks while we skip off to Greece. And we need you to, get the mail and watch our cats. And it was in a very nice part of town. And at the time I was single, so it must have been over 20 years ago. It might have been when I was dating my husband. And I moved into their nice condo and lived my best life watching these cats. And then, years later, Stephanie's like, that's called a house sit. And I was like, well, dagnabbit, look at that. I could have been doing this the whole time. Right. I was like, who knew? Who knew that was a thing? But yeah, if I had never stumbled on Stephanie's content, I wouldn't have known that what I did was an actual thing that could avail me to opportunities, which is what you cracked, which is so beautiful, right? Because it changed how you could experience your gap year that eventually turned into this like freedom experience that you're having, because it takes away that pressure and that budget item, and it gives you an opportunity to live in places that you never would. Because I wasn't going to buy a condo in that part of town. I never was. I never looked at it, but I got to spend 2 weeks with some wonderful fluffy cats in a beautiful kitchen and this lovely condo, right? And then they came back and they were like, thank you.
Yes.
They didn't pay me. I just had a great time. I went out to eat at the places. And people are doing that all over the world, clearly. So you have to get around people who are doing the things. You have to see it before you see it. And sometimes the see it before you see it is up here, which is you got to believe it for, like you got to see it in your mind before you can produce it. And sometimes the see it is external. You just got to pop up on YouTube and be like, what'd she say? You can do that?
So we're witnesses that when you get out here and you talk your talk, you'll find your people. So I saw Haiku say, I'm too weird. I saw your comment a while ago.
Wait, too weird?
I'm too weird to have friends, something like that.
That doesn't exist.
Right? But it doesn't.
It doesn't.
I know it. We are witnesses.
Show it to me because I want to tell you about last night. And if that lady was doing what she was doing out in the desert, you ma'am, have your people. Okay?
Let's see here.
I'm far too weird to have a village. Listen, I will never force anybody to have a village, but I don't think there's any such thing. There's no such thing. Okay? Yesterday, I went out in the desert in the middle of the night. Our roommate is new to me. I've never met Katrina either. Okay. Stephanie didn't go with us. So basically, Katrina and I are strangers, okay? We booked and went out in the middle of the desert in the middle of the night with a tiny little white woman, okay? I'm talking about out in the desert, y'all. Not like met us at a grocery store and then drove us further out. We was like, what is going on? Okay? And she was a little bit of exactly what you were expecting, okay? A little bit like, I feel safe, but also, she's different.
She's gonna
Listen, she was in her whole world, okay? Hugging us and calling, and telling us our aura was this. And all of that. And she had not only convinced, but gotten 10 people to pay her money. Okay. When we drove up, her house was right there. Her house was painted. We could see it because of the car lights. It had giant butterflies all over her house in the middle of the day. Listen, too weird is not a thing. You just haven't found your people.
That's
You
right.
got to find the other weirdos. First, you got to claim the weirdo.
Be it.
Be weird.
All of it.
And they're probably looking for you. Okay. And when they find you, you guys will know because y'all will be weird together.
That's right. That's right. That's the thing that the internet has done. So we talk about the internet making us a little lonelier because we don't have the same in-person relationships. But the internet has made it easier for you to just talk your talk and find your people, right? Talk your talk on the internet somewhere. I say YouTube, and find your people. Find people who want to have those conversations, who want to do that kind of weird stuff. They're out there. They're
Yeah.
out there. One thing I do know. Well, another thing.
Vicky girl says she drove us to a second. Girl, listen.
Rashida always says, "Don't let them take you to a second location."
Listen, she absolutely did. And we were in the
Y'all
car
were just
together. We were like, well, this is an adventure. And I was like, where are we going? Exactly. It was a little sketch, but we made it. I am here on this call. We made it, okay?
If something had gone down, I wouldn't have no
No,
idea
listen, we
where.
wouldn't have known where we were.
No clue.
So she did. She absolutely convinced us. Not only convinced us, of our free will, we gave her money to do this weird thing. Okay? Y'all, I was in some kind of Zen meditation space and I opened my eyes and there was a small white woman ringing a gong over me and squat down, beating the drum, singing some kind of song. And I was looking at her thinking, Nee's like Megan. This is what's
did
happening.
she?
Yeah.
How old was she? About.
You know, you can't tell. Ooh, I said it. I don't know.
Was she
Late
older?
20s, 30s.
Oh, okay. Not
I
older
don't
than
know.
us. Okay.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
definitely younger. But yeah, so no, the weirdos are out there for you. Go
They're out there.
find them.
They're out there.
Go find them.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. It really changes everything. It changes, anyway, it's being in community with people who are into your thing just changes all the possibilities for you, right? It just helps you tear the roof off of whatever your expectation or your plan is when you see other people working on that same work or moving in that same direction.
Do you think
So
people
do
are
it.
afraid of being themselves? You think that's part of it? Like in her comment of being a weirdo, there do you encounter a lot of fear of people being their authentic self so they can find their actual tribe?
Yeah, I think it's caused by a lot of rejection, right? It's caused by people a lot of times being like, "You're weird," and I'm going to mistreat you because I think you're weird. So I think there's a reason why somebody would say, particularly Black women, there's a reason why Black women would say, "I don't fit this particular mold of what people have decided a Black woman is supposed to be, and so I just am going to have to go it alone." I understand why you would say that, right? I understand. As a semi weirdo, I'm a different type of weirdo. I'm a weirdo who Black women have just reached out and pulled me in over and over again, right? But anyway, off topic. But I understand why somebody would say that. I don't know that it's as much a fear of being yourself. It's just a fear of being rejected from others, right? You don't want to keep repeating that over and over again. So you just decide, okay, I'll be weird, but I'll be weird by myself.
Right.
I've met some of y'all in person. Okay, so we're a weirdo gang. Okay, we're a weirdo gang. We're a gang of people who have very particular interests, right? Very particular like ways that we show up in the world. And I think, there's just a place to be fully your weirdo self and still be in community with other people.
You kind of have to have a little bit of countercultural thoughts and ways of being to even consider what you're offering people.
Right.
You have to. There's there's courage in even the consideration of what you're offering.
That's right.
Because the way that American society just swoops you down, I call it the conveyor belt.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right.
You get on that conveyor belt and you check the boxes, and it's so easy for the herd to just be going out to the conveyor belt. So even if somebody hasn't implemented one thing that you have said, Stephanie, just their presence in your comment section, right, is a example of them being courageous, because they're drawn to the other. They're drawn to the counter. They're drawn to the possibility that there's something else out there, and that's how it starts. That's how it starts.
Can we bash certain parts of the country, or how are you feeling about this? Okay, so
You can get no, wait, because now
you
I
can't
know.
do that.
No,
Okay.
go ahead, because finally, St. Louis might be able to get a rebuttal on one of these videos. The way she be dragging St. Louis for filth.
So our third roommate, who may pop in, we'll see what happens. She yeah. So I was going to tell y'all that she loves to be naked, so I don't know if she's gonna be on camera. Don't tell her I told y'all that. I don't know if she's gonna be on camera or not. Our third roommate moved from the Washington D.C. area down to the South, and she was like, "These people are different, right? This is a different vibe." So there are places where it might be a little harder. That's all I want to say about that. Right? There are places where things might be a little harder. Being an East Coaster and being a weirdo, East Coast is more conducive to weirdo things. I think probably California, West
Absolutely. Out
Coast.
here, it's absolutely conducive. You're right, because I'm from the Caribbean. I'm from the Virgin Islands, you guys, US and British. I went to college in Pennsylvania, so I got 4 years of that, but on a college campus for the most part. So that's a little bit more of a curated experience, right? And then I moved to St. Louis, and that was when I will honestly say that was when I just experienced culture shock, because Midwestern Bible Belt culture is, I used to call it the snow globe. And that was my way of saying that, like, it was almost like people just were in this little bubble and hadn't experienced other people, other cultures, other
Yes.
things, hadn't traveled, right? And so when I finally realized, oh, okay, there are pockets in this city that are that. But the closer I get to the university, I get the artsy people, right? So
Okay.
I was like, there are the people I'm looking for.
Okay.
I did a brief stint in Tallahassee. I moved away. I did a brief stint in New York, and then I came back to St. Louis. So that's kind of like my trajectory through the United States. And absolutely, when you are in certain parts of the United States, you're getting a much different message.
Yeah.
And it's easier to be a little bit outside of the box.
Yeah.
Nobody, when I went to New York, nobody cared that I would just like wash my hair, wear an afro, part it down. I used to part it down the middle sometimes and just put two clips right here, because why not?
Yes.
Why not? Nobody even looked at me. Nobody cared. Same hairstyle, St. Louis. Somebody almost drove off the street, like
Staring at you.
So yeah, you're right. There's definitely cultural differences. I don't know that much about South Carolina, but it is. But listen, that's why in like nowadays you have us. Okay? Sometimes when the outside noise is getting too much and you need to level set to find out if you're the only person thinking this, girl, you pick up your little cellular device. Okay? And you be like, oh, there you guys are. You get in a Facebook, you be like, oh, we do exist. I'm just, this noise out here is not the noise for me.
That's right. That's right. Thank you very much for the super chat. We're going to go ahead and give Roshni some
Ooh,
super
I'm
chat
rich.
cash for Mother's Day.
You know that Dave Chappelle meme where he has all the money with the crown?
Y'all
I'm
can't touch
rich.
y'all can't touch my cash.
Thank you.
All right, so thank you for that. Pretty awesome, JM. She says, love your mission. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you, friend. All right, so we'll do that for Mother's Day. We didn't get the flower store closed on us yesterday, so we don't even have like Mother's Day flowers in here for Roshni. So we're gonna try to make it a Mother's Day thing. Make it a thing. Yeah, Cat Graphics deliver me from the middle of America mindset. Yeah, right. If you're in a place, I wholeheartedly believe you can be a different person in a different place. And sometimes to be the fullness of who you need to be, you need to move to a different place. For me, it's out of the United States.
Yeah.
But for somebody in a different part of the U.S., it may be to just a different part of the country for a while. It's spoiler alert, you're still going to want to leave the country. All right. But it may be moving to a place where you can feel More surrounded by the energy, the vibe, the people that you want to be surrounded by. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with picking up and being like, I can't be me here, but I can be me someplace else. It's really hard to try to either fit into other people's expectations. Black women, like there is a particular Black excellence expectation put on Black women. And you can eat, some of us are knocking ourselves out, killing ourselves trying to fit into that, y'all, not us, but y'all, some, right? Um, and then others are like, I can do something different, but it's easier to do something different in a different place. It's easier if I can pick myself up and be in another place where I'm not surrounded by these things that are going to make me want to. You call it a treadmill, I call it a little hamster wheel, right? Make me want to get back in that little hamster wheel. Yeah.
You have read the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, right?
Yeah.
He talks about that where you have to change your environment. And I mean, he's talking about it in the context of habit forming, but it bodes well
That's
for
right.
this too.
That's right.
Sometimes you have, instead of struggling to be and do better in the same space, change the space. And I remember when I was coaching, I had one coaching client. It was, when I tell you, I blew her mind with that. She was struggling to do something and just was failing. And I said to her, between this call and the next call, I want you to rearrange that space so that it actually is conducive to what you're already doing. I was like, look at what you're doing already. Change your space to fit what you're doing. So the same thing, sometimes the environment invites you and allows you to be a different you.
That's right. That's right. I believe in that. I believe it. And it can be it can be the environment that you're in, right? Adapting it to what you need. I love though just picking up and going, which is one of the reasons that house sitting fits me so well, because in a different house, right? I can move into that house and okay, for these 3 weeks, I am the rich divorcee who only wears robes, right, all day long. I'm in a robe, and I carry the little dog
Are you,
around
I
with
was gonna say, are you?
me.
I was waiting for you to say that you were petting a furry baby.
Carry truffles with me, right? This is the life I'm living. I'm this
Sunglasses
person.
inside.
But yeah, but seriously, you are a different person in a different environment. I really, really have experienced that. Some of it, and then another part of it is that you don't have to have the guards up, right? When you move into a different environment, you can drop all that, drop it.
Yeah, yeah.
Be a person who explores and is like, let's see what
Yeah.
this white lady's gonna do to us in the desert.
Send me the link and let's see what's going on in the desert.
Yeah, and not like, well, let me, always on protection mode, always on lookout mode. I love it. I love that. All right, so let's see. Anything, I don't know if I haven't really been tagging like questions. Thank you very much for that super chat, Auntie Trey. Thank you kindly.
Beautiful.
Thank you kindly.
Thank you.
All right, so I don't know that I have any questions.
Everyone around me keeps telling me that one. Do you see that one? That I need to get over that feeling and make do where I'm at. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, wait, I just got triggered. Wait. What's the name? We out? Okay,
The
wait,
first comment was something about leaving, I feel more myself out of the U.S. was the first comment.
Saw that. Okay. How do I, tell me where to start, God. I was told on a very consistent basis growing up by well-meaning people that loved me that you have to get over listen, that's why I'm triggered. I was like, ooh, I felt that right here in my shanana. It's a no. Okay. Well-meaning people that loved me told me exactly what you are writing on this screen. You got to get over that. The way that you handle these sorts of thoughts is you get back on the conveyor belt and you channel that feeling somewhere else. It's a hobby. You can travel. You can book a trip, get you a cruise. You know what I mean? Do what I did. I stuffed it.
Yep.
You should stuff it too.
Yep.
And let me tell you what I have observed. And I'm trying to say this to protect the innocent. Okay, because the internet is the internet. What I observed is that does not turn out well for them, right? So they're selling me a solution that I can watch them and see that it didn't turn out well for them
Yes.
in various ways.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting here now, a few generations back, thinking to myself, so you're telling me to do this, and that tree doesn't bear any fruit. And one of the things I always told my coaching clients is check the tree before you pick the fruit. So listen, it'll bless you if you let it. Okay, you don't have to tell people that you're not listening to them. You don't have to listen. You don't have to tell anybody. You smile at them, and you think in your head, I don't want what you have though. So the only thing you are telling me is how to create what you have, and you seem miserable. And then you turn toward the light, and you turn toward the community, and you skip your little butt out the U.S. if that's what God intends for you. I'm serious.
Yes.
I read your comment, and I felt my nervous system activate because the amount of work I had to do to realize that was bad. Listen, they meant well, and somebody can be a good person and give you bad advice.
Yes. Yes.
And I love them. Also, I don't want what you created.
Right.
That's it.
Right. That's a step that I forget to take sometimes myself. Do I want that thing? Right? Do I?
People listen.
They
People
can
be
get me
selling
there.
you a whole conveyor belt marketing package. It got brochures and everything, and you're sitting there thinking, you don't like your life, you don't like your job, you miserable, you always complaining,
You don't like your kids.
you don't like anything, you don't like this, you don't like your house. You're a miserable person, but you're still promoting the conveyor belt brochure package to me. Why can't you see this? But if that, listen, I have had a lot of therapy, you guys.
Yeah.
That's their work to do.
Yes.
Sometimes we have to release those people and let God handle his own children.
Do you want to demonstrate the blank stare that you give when people who
There's always hydration. Which cup should I go with? The Charlie
I like
Brown?
Charlie Brown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you
Roshni, what you need to do, okay, is go back to school. I'm gonna be the role play. Go back to school, okay. Get the get the doctorate, okay. You need to put yourself in more church activities because that is the way to be a better, more productive person. And you, whatever your husband says, you do that. You don't be talking back to your husband.
you had to. Then you said you got to put all the layers. Wait, okay, I got out of
Right?
character.
You don't, and then you whatever he says because that's his role, and you do what he says, and then eventually one day he's going to die, and then you don't have to worry about it anymore.
And then you
That's
can't. We forgot
then
that
you
part. And
can
then you can live.
then you can be free. Okay, Roshni, that's the answer. Okay. So not like, but
Let me tell you what, you
not a
don't have
word?
to, when you get internal peace, which is why I'm so big on on healing work. When you get internal peace, what you realize is your need to clap back and say something back
Yes.
is a nervous system activation trauma response. You feel nothing. You hear them talking the shadow side of life. You see that their fruit is not aligning with what you want and what they want. Half the time, listen, and you smile, you assess,
Oh, I typed this.
I don't want what's on that tree, and you smile and you go about your business.
Okay.
All is well. And you know what the funny thing is, you guys? What I have noticed is oftentimes when you create the different life that you wanted, some of those same people may come to you and say, wait, how did you do that?
Yes,
It was impossible.
that's right.
They're trying to keep you safe. That's why a lot of times I look at people and I give them grace because they really are telling you something to keep you safe. They do not have negative intention. Well, I don't know what their intention is, but I look at it from that place because it just makes it easier to slide right on and go about my business.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they're trying to keep you safe. And they might be telling you something that kept them safe in a different era. Because Black people have lived in different decades and we have had different experiences in this country. But, it's 2023 and we are the best it's been. Okay? So we can do things that are far beyond what others have told us to prove our worthiness. Every year I pick a word of the year. And last year, I don't remember which, it might have been last year. They all jumbled together, but I am enough because I realize that in the striving that we are continually doing, it's like we're trying to prove our worthiness
Right.
to a society, to our elders, to ourselves, to everyone. And I started to realize that I needed to tell myself that me by myself, as I am, is enough. And I think when I started saying it, I started putting it at the end of the video. I don't know if I fully believed it. And I identified that I didn't fully believe it.
That's right.
And the thing is, when you start doing things from the you start from the place of enoughness.
Yeah.
That's where the changes start happening. When you start from the place of I am not enough, therefore I have to earn my worth, lower the amount of shame I feel. I'm afraid to, like all of those. It's like a scarcity within yourself. And you can see that sometimes in the people telling you these things.
Right.
You hear it in them. They're still striving. They still don't feel worthy.
That's right.
You know, they'll tell you your hair isn't presentable because they feel like there's a presentable version of hair, and you're just like, this is what's coming out my head. I'm gonna slick these edges or nah. They gonna get what I give them, right? So yeah, it's totally that. You get peaceful about it, and then you can just create. That I told you guys, it's like we are creative beings. We have the biggest change when you're coaching in my walk, I've heard in Stephanie's walk, is that moment when you realize you are not a passenger in this thing,
Yes.
you're at the wheel.
Yes.
Listen, when you find out you driving, it changes everything.
Yes.
And you are like consciously choosing to be going in this direction, you just like, wait a minute. Then you start being like, how do I turn this thing?
Yeah, agency, right?
Listen.
Agency. That's Black power, right? Not the excellence. Black excellence is not the way to Black power. Black agency. You having agency over your life, you recognizing that you have agency over your life, and then taking that steering wheel. That's Black power.
Yeah.
That's Black power. So you talked about would you consider it an affirmation, saying to yourself, I am enough?
Yes, I would.
Would you, and then do you think that, do you use affirmations? Are affirmations a regular thing for you?
Yes, they are.
Yeah. Some people think that affirmations are just, what I think is an affirmation is a way to reprogram your brain, right?
Yes.
Everything is programming, and our brains they are computers. I don't know. I don't know that Andrew Huberman would say it that way, but everything is programming,
Yeah.
and you can reprogram yourself, and a step in that can really be repeating something to yourself over and over until it is playing in your mind without you even recognizing it. And that's what affirmations, I think, are for me, a way to get to. Every now and then I'll have one that I say over and over. The first one I really remember was the source of all abundance is within me. And I used to say that when I would just feel like somebody had something that I wanted, and so that means I can't have it. It used to be honestly, it used to be babies. When I would hear someone was pregnant, the first thing I would think was everybody but me. And so the first affirmation that I put in my brain was the source of all abundance is within me.
Yeah.
And one day something happened, and I heard my brain say it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's in there.
It's in there.
Reprogram.
And you know what? So for me, how often are we affirmed? That's the thought I'm having, right? So my personal walk was fraught with a record player. That's to show how old I am. I'm gonna go with record player, not cassette, not CD. I'm going with record player. Just a constant stream of negative messaging, right? And so part of my journey has been talking to myself nice.
Yes.
Because we will talk kindly to others and friends. We will give other people grace. We will give other people advice. We will have a view of possibilities. If they have a misstep, we will handle them with, girl, we give them all of that. And inside of our heads, we are whooping each other, ourselves, right? Myself, I don't know. Listen, this is a therapy session right now. Forget y'all. I hope y'all get what y'all need. Okay, let me get out what I need. Myself, I realized that the stuff I was saying to me in my head was out of pocket.
Ooh.
I was talking to myself sideways, okay? And I was like, ooh, girl, wait. So affirmations for me are literally that. It's me affirming me because the world doesn't tend to affirm me. So I'm going to affirm me. Okay, if you ain't gonna give it to me, I'm gonna give it to myself. I have a monthly flower subscription of fresh flowers that come to my house because when my father passed away and everybody was sending me fresh flowers, and then the fresh flowers died out, I thought, man, it'd be nice to have fresh flowers. And a voice said, give them to yourself. Okay. And so it's literally me affirming me. It's me telling, I think, every morning I have a few that I say now. And one of them is that I'm curious, I'm growing, I'm evolving, like that kind of stuff. And the last thing I say is I'm enough because I need to remind myself. And just like you said, you say it sometimes before you believe it.
Yeah.
And ultimately and eventually, at the moment that you need it, that thing will come up to combat. So it doesn't mean the negative voice isn't going to say something. It means the positive, the affirming voice is going to say something back.
Yes.
And that's all it is to me. And I get that it seems like woo woo. Listen, never look down on simple solutions you haven't tried.
That's right.
Because I see a lot of people out here talking about, it seems woo woo boo boo. Have you tried
Did you
it though?
try it?
Say that thing over and over to yourself and see if it don't fall in your spirit. All right. And when somebody, and the other thing is, it doesn't just, it starts to combat your internal voice. It starts to combat the external voices.
Yes.
People will say something to you and in your head, you'll be like, I am enough. So you looking at them like, I don't know who you talking to. If you want to stay over there in a place of scarcity for yourself and never do because you're so busy planning and getting ready and earning your stuff, good for you. I deserve beautiful things. I don't know what you do. Like,
I don't know what
you
you're
listen. We at a standstill because I'm staring at you and you staring at me like that puffy meme. And I'm like, I deserve beautiful things. That's where I am at in my life. So you can save for this mug that you like until 5 years from now. I'm gonna just go ahead and buy the mug. You know what I mean? And use it every morning while I look out at the sun.
And enjoy my
Right. And get sunlight into my eyes, like Andrew says. Andrew Huberman says, right.
Yes. So you've given us a couple of like t-shirts. So check the tree before you pick the fruit.
Yeah, listen.
Okay.
I don't know where
That's
I got
at least
that.
a
That thing
refrigerator
fell
magnet.
in my spirit one day, and the way that has freed me, because you can stand in front of me and say anything to me, girl. I don't care if you are a parent, a pastor, a friend. I don't, girl. You could be the president of the United States, and you're talking to me, and I just stand there, and it's a good way of me assessing. Do I want to take counsel from you? Because the Bible says that in the counsel of many there is safety. I want to be safe. And I can take counsel from people. It's not wisdom to just go it alone. That's why we're talking about community, right? You don't have to pave the road. Somebody already paved it. Just walk down it.
Just walk down.
But I don't have to go down every road now. And just because you telling me a thing does not mean I want it. And people, I always chuckle because sometimes some people are so convinced that you want it.
Yeah.
And I think, you know what, they're coming from a good space.
Yeah.
But also I don't want to work and then buy a McMansion in the Midwest and pose up here and they give me a watch. What do they give you? A watch and
Not even
a
now.
plaque?
You might get a gift card now when you
Girl,
retire.
4 years at a company? That doesn't sound like the life I want. That sounds like I'm gonna be full of regrets. And they talking and I smile and I think, do I want this fruit? Do I want this fruit? I don't. Okay, and I just let them have their thing. And sometimes people are confused by that.
Yeah.
Because, some people, when they tell you, they think you should be doing what I told you. And you're just like,
Yes, discernment, Auntie Trey. That's right. Discernment. Yeah, yeah. I know not to. People don't generally give me too much advice anyway because I don't know. They know I'm gonna do what I want. But I know not to listen to everyone's advice. But it's nice to have a way to make that decision immediately. Right? Do I want that fruit? Okay.
some
I don't
people
need
aren't.
to.
And the other thing too, when I was coaching, I think you have to know what you want.
Yes.
That's the first step.
That's the first
and
step.
some people are confused because all the advice sounds like good advice, and because they don't know what they want, they taking everybody else's advice.
Every
Boo boo.
direction.
When you figure out, like when you get some moments of silence where you can hear yourself, Stephanie's always telling people that she finally like could hear herself. right? In her original gap year or whatever,
That's
right? When you get these moments where you actually, it centers you and you think, oh, that's what I want. Then when people come at you, you don't have to go everywhere. You can't take everyone's advice. Whose life is it? It's yours. They're telling you how to create either their life or a life they think they're supposed to be creating.
Right.
Right? You should be out here driving your own car in a direction.
Yes.
And I mean, even that alone takes time because I'm not telling you something I knew from jump. Okay, I'm
Right.
in my 40s. I had to learn this.
That's
And
right.
it's like, oh, wow, I am driving my own car no matter what. But where am I driving it? Right? Am I driving it to a McMansion in a Midwest? I might be. If that feels like
That's what
peace
you
and
want.
abundance and safety to you, God bless you on your journey. Do you? But it doesn't feel that way to me. Right? And you have to know that, or else people get turned every which way. And the next thing you know, you're supposed to be posted up on a beach in Portugal or in Mexico, and you in somebody's IT job in the
Sitting in the bathroom,
girl in a
crying,
gray cubicle.
crying in the
Crying in
bathroom.
the park. I used to cry in the parking lot. I never did it in the bathroom. I got it together before I went in the building.
Okay.
Okay. I used to weep in the parking lot in the car first. Okay.
I used to sit in the bathroom. I didn't have the kind of job where I had to cry at work, but I did just sit in the bathroom to get some silence.
Yeah.
It was like my second office. Just sit in there for just a little while. Give me
Yeah.
some quiet for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're a Bible person, that check the tree before you pick the fruit. If you remember the story of Jesus with the disciples and he walked by the tree and it didn't bear the fruit and he cursed the tree. Listen, that comes from the book too. If you're a Christian, don't worry, I'm not giving you something that don't align with the word.
It's in the
Okay?
book.
God talks about fruit of the spirit. God expects certain things to bear certain things.
That's right.
And he also talks about the opposite of the fruit of the spirit in that same verse, in the context of that verse. There's an opposing version of it, which means there can be good fruit and there can be not so good fruit. So check the fruit. Okay, listen, I'm trying to get people free. I'm like, it's right in this book. I'm reading this Bible every day. I said, God says, oh, we always talking about the good fruit, but we don't talk about the fact that God right here says also there is not so good fruit. So if you're talking to a person and what they have created in their life is misery and regret and disappointment and exhaustion and like, what is that? Why would I want that?
Why would I want
What?
the problem though is that sometimes misery looks like fancy things and expensive clothing and expensive vacations, right? Sometimes that's still misery, and so the checking the tree is not just looking on the outside. Checking the tree is like really looking at, is this person happy? Is this person content? Is this person being called to a higher version of themselves? Or are they just drowning?
Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes it can look, the tree might look good, right? But the fruit ain't good. That fruit is rancid. Letitia says you'll find out what you want. Start with some Pinterest boards. So free time. Pinterest is a way that years ago I used to do free time visualizing, right? So Pinterest was a way for me to have some free time, use some free time, and visualize some things. Usually on Pinterest, I don't know about usually, but on Pinterest for me, it started with the common boards that other people would have, right? Everybody had their home, their dream home, and their dream wedding, and their this and their that. And as it went on, my Pinterest boards became much more travel related, and then also much more just like leisure related. And I was like, oh, this is what I'm into,
Yeah.
right? Sometimes we don't know because we don't have a lot of free time. We don't have a lot of time to just sit and like, what do I like? What do I not like? What do I want to do more and more of, right? Pinterest was a good way for me to figure some things out. So thank you for reminding me, Letitia. Yeah, something where you have free time and a way to express what's in here out there. I mean, that is a way to get some clarity, right? Therapy, free time, and self-expression, right?
Yeah.
Do those things. You can go from, I don't know. I don't, right, Shoshana. So that's the answer. I think we just answered it, Shoshana. What do I do? What do you do when you rely too much on everyone's advice because you don't trust yourself? You get a trusted so a therapist is a trusted person who can guide you through this and teach you the tools on how to how to trust yourself. A therapist can teach you how to trust yourself, right?
The first thing I would say is you give yourself grace. Because what I hear in your question is an expectation that by default you should trust yourself coming out the gate. And I'm gonna tell you right now, that's not a natural thing, especially in our social construct. So when you think, why don't I trust myself? Everybody else sees them, I trust them. Girl, that you already started out the gate with an expectation of self. So give yourself grace, because being born into our world, it is very common for other people to be the dictator of you, right? Even just from childhood as to adulthood. That's the first thing I would do. So just come at it from a different POV. And then, yes, you have to intentionally do work to build your trust. So the first thing I would do is I would contact a therapist and I would go into the therapist's office. We were just talking about this yesterday about how to start,
How do you get
how do you
started?
get started? And I would tell the therapist, I don't trust myself and I want to figure out why. That listen, and it's their job. Because at least this way you are aware that I ain't driving my car.
Yeah.
I'm in the passenger. Girl, forget the passenger or the back seat. I'm in the trunk. Girl, I'm on the back hood. Somebody else got me in the bushes.
Yeah.
But at least that awareness has started you. And you go to somebody and you say, I'm in the trunk of my car. I feel like that's not where I'm supposed to be. This woman on the internet said it would be better if I was driving. But I don't trust myself to drive. And I want to figure out why. You just start right there. And then they work with you and they're trained to this. And the next thing you know, you start uncovering different reasons. And then you have something to address. You know, oh, this is why I felt this way. This is why I'm self-sabotaging, right? It's a unique process for all of us, but that's what I would do. I would change my point of view of how I'm asking the question and give myself so much more grace. Because what I said earlier about the fact that you are on a live right now, okay? Talking to us, asking this question is an immense display of courage. Period, without any other work, just your presence. So give yourself grace because the expectation doesn't, and then go ask somebody, how do I do this?
Thank you. That's right. Okay, so friends, thank you very much for the Mother's Day money. Okay, so let's yeah. This audience, Black women like to make it rain.
Listen, turn this
So thank you very much. The On Trade Street, thank you. The On Trade Street, thank you very much. Hey, Joanna, thank you very much for that super chat.
Thank you.
Sharon,
Oh,
yes, Sharon, thank you very much. We need this. Keep living, sharing, and teaching your truth. We continue to be inspired.
that's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Hyacinth. Blessings on Mother's Day.
Oh,
Blessings
thank
to
you.
Thanks, Hyacinth. Thanks, VCH. Thanks, friends, for that. Thank you for your generosity. We appreciate you. Roshni will have a good Mother's Day.
Listen.
Part one, Mother's. This is the A selection.
Exactly. The A selection. We'll go back and we'll
We're
be
gonna
like,
have Mother's Day A and B selection. This is the A selection. So we're in, if you don't know, we're in Joshua Tree, we're in California, we're in the desert, in a lovely Airbnb, doing very little, getting to know each other more, and
we were in the pool yesterday.
Yeah.
There was a bit of that. There's a hot tub out there. We haven't done that yet.
No, the men came to clean it, so it's ready for us. Yeah, we're doing very little desert. We're doing desert things. And there is a meetup in Palm Springs today at 5 p.m. If you're in the Exodus Summit community, the event information is in the community. So we'll get to see some of y'all today at 5
I'll
p.m.
see some of you guys later.
Yay! Yeah, most of them are probably not here because they're on Pacific time.
Exactly.
Although it's now a
And
reasonable hour.
Right. And they're asleep, unlike me.
It's now a reasonable hour because we've been at this for an hour 45. Now you see how easy it is to get caught up.
Listen, I'm a talker. Yeah. I'm absolutely a talker. So I'm not saying I don't understand how you be pushing two hours plus. But come on, y'all. Somebody say something. Stephanie will get on and she'll be like, it's going to be short today. And then I look, because I'm on the replay, I look at the timestamp. It's 2 hours and 15 minutes. Short where? Short how? Girl, you a lie.
I don't know
You
what
like the
happened.
pastors. They be closing the
I
sermon
won't
out.
hold you long.
After they be closing the sermon 7 times. Stephanie. That's a lie.
I won't be before you long.
Exactly.
I just stopped by to tell you, and then we're gonna go
That's
for
a lie.
forever.
This is one of them 2-hour ones. Okay, let's go in here. See what Stephanie talking about.
All right. So, how did we do? Is there anything that you think that we should have discussed? I think we nailed it. I think we nailed it.
I don't think so.
So, Roshni's YouTube channel, I've linked to here. Double
See, they
check.
laughing at you because they know. I be seeing Rebloom Room in your live. She be on the lives like now. Don't she always say it's gonna be short today? And y'all, because I'm at second service, I can already see the untruths that are being spoken. Okay, I'll be like, ma'am, this 2 hours and 37 minutes. It's not short. You giving Andrew Huberman a run for his money?
Yeah, because that's the long.
That's
Yeah, I sometimes I be like, what is going on with time? There's no way that 2 hours is always 2 hours.
I tell you, time is a social construct. Like how you know how you always say money doesn't exist.
Yeah,
I feel like time doesn't exist at this point. I especially with the pandemic. I mean, how old am I? I don't know. Listen, they told me I just had a birthday, you guys, and I see the number, but also like what? So in my mind, time is a social. So I could see how you could get lost. You know what I mean, and just not know. But yeah, that is one of my best. Every time it's gonna be short. Okay, Stephanie, continue to pray.
I mean to. Today I thought it was going to be short because I'm like, well, we're on vacation. Roshni's just, chilling. We're going to maybe 45. I really did think 45 minutes.
So?
I was like 45 minutes because I said I don't have anything planned. Sometimes I come into a live stream with questions and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't have anything planned. We didn't. I just came up with the title last night, right?
And wait. And I asked her what it was this morning. I came out for the coffee. I said, "Girl, what's the name of the live?" I didn't even look because we were fighting bugs last night. So you know we didn't get to bed. I was in the desert with the white woman with the singing bowls, and then we were fighting bugs. So it was a lot going on last night at midnight.
I had to pull out my exterminator hat. I'm in a house with with 2 other women who are not necessarily bug killers.
I am, but I don't like jumping things. Right? So I was so happy that you ran out because when you saw me, I was just trying to get I didn't know that you had left the door open.
I had left the door
So when we left, the house was relatively bug-free, right? There was a nice little spider. I can't point. You see this thing right here? It's a cubby hole. And when I get on my computer, I get in there and I work. And there's a spider up in the corner and he don't bother me and I don't bother him. I probably need to give him a name. I'm gonna call him Fred.
Okay.
So Fred and I had a moment, you know what I mean? There was a moth that got in and that's about it.
That was it.
That was about it. Nobody was in here. So when we got back last night, Stephanie was in bed. So I was just trying to like refigure out why I was under attack. Because it was like they descended and then a spider ran by and that's
like
what
plague.
you...
It looked like a plague or something.
That's what you came out into. And when I tell you Stephanie came out instant in season, okay? When you are traveling, if bugs exist, you need to have a Stephanie in your corner. She came out swinging. Bat, 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 bat.
This is it. Y'all about to die.
And
okay?
explaining. I left the door open. I'm so sorry.
Y'all about to die.
Yeah. So no, that's what you walked into. Me just being like, what is this?
I heard voices out the door. And I heard, I heard y'all come in. I was asleep, but I heard it. And I was like, okay, they'll be, I'm not going to, I'll let them do what they're going to do and go to bed. But then I heard more voices and I was like, this is not a normal, like, we're back.
See,
good
and that's
night.
The thing. Look, she said, as long as it's not a huntsman spider. See, that's the thing. I'm from the Caribbean, so I am familiar with the bugs we have.
Right.
I don't know these bugs. Girl, you know these Joshua Tree bugs? That spider that ran underneath my bed might have been done tried to kill me. That's what you were. I was like, see, now. I was like, I am unfamiliar with these specific bugs. I know the crickets ain't gonna do nothing to me. But then you saw that creeper crawler thing, I was like, he might be poisonous, girl. I might be in here like a Disney princess in the morning. I might be out.
So not to be scary, but I do think he was a scorpion.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, it might be something else. So that's what you saw. Me just trying to understand what was going on, what are we about to do, why are there 20 Bugs. I counted them. Why are there 20 bugs in my room?
It was not good. It was not good. But most of them are dead now.
Yes,
I
foreign
believe.
critters, Ella J. You got to be, listen, when you are familiar with your critters, you feel more peace. You see it and you think they don't do nothing. But when you in a foreign land, okay? And he was like see-through, looking
Yes,
see-through. Just
semi-transparent.
looked like he was carrying poison. And I had to get it together. Listen, Stephanie ran out swinging. She came out,
With one shoe.
and I was like, oh, okay.
Smash, Hulk smash, all the bugs. It's clobbering time. What was that? It's clobbering time. I'm like,
Meanwhile, Katrina's like, you see him? Where he at? I won't be able to go to sleep. I was like, girl, he done ran in my room.
yeah, I think we're in a safer place now. So now I just need to remember to like all the way close the door, please. Okay, okay, but we're going to be okay. We're here. We're here for a few more days all together. We're going to be down in Palm Springs at the meetup today, eating foods. Palm Springs, we did a little Palm Springs drive by, and it's beautiful. And I have some house sits coming up in Palm Springs later this month and in June. So you're going to see, hopefully y'all will see a lot of Palm Springs.
Yeah, and stumbled on a beautiful restaurant.
Yes.
Just on a, let me tell y'all something about abundance and with Miss Abundance here. You don't need a reservation if you're with Stephanie. Okay? The thing will say you need a reservation. And Stephanie, who lives in her own reality, is like, maybe we don't. Maybe we don't need a reservation. Okay? And we will saunter our little butts up into this restaurant. And listen, you have not because you what? You asked not. And the next thing we know, we are on their outdoor patio
Yes.
with a view of the mountains. Drinks are coming because y'all, you don't need a reservation. You have to ask the question. We have gone to 2 restaurants so far where the assumption was a reservation was necessary, and we ate at both.
Yes.
Because you listen. And I'm just here with it. I'm just walking behind Stephanie in the current that she's creating. I'm just like, yes.
I don't think it was me. I don't think it was me. So the people have been really friendly here in this area, and like really, people have been really happy to see us, as though they were waiting for us. I don't
Do you
know.
think it's this? Because we've only counted like 2.
I think
brown folks?
not a whole lot of people look like us.
I think we
here.
doubled the population of African Americans in Joshua Tree.
So like when we walk in, they seem to be really happy to see us. Like, oh hi, okay. I don't know if that's just a thing they do for everyone. But.
I think it might be Katrina because she's in her receiving era. She has like a receiving energy.
Yes.
You know, even last night, our wonderful woman in the desert gave her one of the crystals.
Oh.
Nobody else. I'd say she's in her receiving era. Okay, we out in the bushes. Everybody else, we had to put our crystals back.
Oh.
Okay. Well, Katrina, she left with the lady gave her one and hugged her.
And hugged her.
It was like, yes, it might be her. People are feeling her.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I don't think it was me in particular. Yeah. So that's what's happening. We're out here having a good time. Can we do an ask for something you want challenge? Oh,
that would be beautiful.
Yeah, let's do that.
Because people are afraid of that. And you know, in the Virgin Islands, we say you can't fall off the floor. You know, I gotta switch my voice again. You can't fall off the floor. If you're on the floor, boo-boo, and you ask, the worst thing that's gonna happen is they're going to be on the floor. So yeah,
I always say you're already living the worst case scenario.
Well.
Worst case, you don't get it. Well, you don't have it now. You're already
don't have it now. You literally don't have it now. So why not? Yeah. It's about. Remember, we were talking about living with your hand open, because a lot of people, they have a scarcity thought process, and they're crushed. I call it crushing the butterfly. You want this beauty to exist with you, but you have to have an open hand. Where things flow in and out.
That's right.
Because when you try to like control and keep it, you kill it. So yeah, that would be a beautiful challenge, because for some people that would be really new. And then when they realize that saying it aloud, if they get a no, they might, that's the power. You're right. Let's stop there. Just having the courage to speak it out of your mouth gives it life and lets it live. If they get a no, that's fine, because flow, right? Your hand is open. If they get a yes to the exact thing they asked for, then that's reinforcing the fact that this actually does work. Oftentimes, what happens though if you either get a yes in a different version than what you asked for, that's even more beautiful, or you inform people that you want it.
That's right.
And then they bring it to you later.
That's right.
They bring it to you later. Listen, I tell you what I know. If you don't say you want something, nobody knows.
They don't know.
Nobody knows. But when you say it out loud and you think you gotta know, sometimes you just got a delayed yes.
That's right. People will go. People go into action for other people.
Hello?
It's what we are a community. We are a network. We're connected, even if you don't see the web lines. Right? We're connected. And when you can say to people, "This is a thing that I want, or I need, or I'm doing, or whatever," they go into work. It just activates the little network.
It's like your yacht.
Yes. Right. So
Do you want me to talk about that?
yeah.
Yeah, you know how Stephanie, you're always telling people
Okay,
that
so I
you.
want a yacht. I've got an 8-year yacht plan. I believe that my children, who don't even exist yet, right? I believe my children and I and my parents will see the world on a yacht.
Yes.
On our yacht.
Yes.
Yes.
And I have sat on Stephanie's lives and I see people negating that want in the comment section as though it is too far-fetched. You guys, I'm from the Virgin Islands. I know people who own yachts. I went to a resort. I took my mom to a resort last year, and it is only accessible by boat. And all of the people that came to dinner that night came upon a dinghy, and there were sailboats and yachts all out here. When I got here, my friend who works for the Department of Tourism had given me different websites where you can rent yachts. So I am yacht adjacent.
Yeah.
And every time I hear Stephanie say she wants the yacht, and every time I see people negate it in the comment section, I chuckle and think to myself, but I know Stephanie.
Yeah.
And I am yacht adjacent. So y'all don't know that and now that I see, if she had never said it, she wouldn't come to mind when I'm in these places. But I kid you not, last year while sitting at dinner on this 1 mile little island that is a resort that's only accessible by boat, and all of these people are out here with these boats, and this one guy was, looking over to my table. I won't go into all of that, but he was paying for the whole table, and it was like 15 people. Stephanie crossed I looked at him and I looked out at the boats, and I thought, Stephanie's yacht might be here. And I know Stephanie. So when you say stuff aloud, the divine conspires to get it to you.
That's right. That's right.
And if other people tell you that's not true, then they have decided to live in that space. Good for them.
Yeah.
Bless them on their journey.
Okay. I know that. I've had enough opportunity. I've had enough times when I've just said a thing out loud that I needed, and boom, there it was. My favorite story is that I was driving to the airport to fly somewhere, and I was afraid. I don't really usually feel anxiety, but I was feeling very anxious and afraid, and just really just like off a mess. And it was going to be a long flight. I guess I was going to, I don't know. It was going to be awful if I was going to get on the plane feeling like that. And I said, Lord, I need help. Don't you know? I said it, looked up, my dad's car was right in front of my car, driving on I-95 to the airport. My parents live in Dover. I'm in Philly. My dad's car was right in front of my car. My dad has a license plate that's consecutive, so it's easy. So I just start laying on my horn, blowing my horn. And they were like, oh, so they pulled over to the side of the highway. I got a chance to hug my parents, say hi to them
That's
really
nice.
quickly before I got on the plane, calmly right down. Got on the flight, had a wonderful time.
That's
right?
perfect.
Yeah, so listen, one time I had an opportunity to ask for something and I couldn't get words out of my mouth, and I decided that was the last time. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to say what I want over and over.
Yeah.
And hopefully get more comfortable with it. It's not like it's easy. It's not like, oh, no big deal. It's a thing that I have to learn how to do. But that's the way I do things now. Because sometimes it just shows up.
God will use people to get it to you, and God will get it to you.
That's right.
Okay, because faith is the substance of what? It's the substance of things hoped for. Okay, and the evidence of what? Things not seen. Which means you got to say it out your mouth and let the fear of people thinking you're crazy or a weirdo. Listen, that does not exist. It doesn't exist. Like, what life do you want to live?
That's right.
What life do you want to live? Do you want to live a creative, expansive life where what you want conspires to come to you? Or do you want to be quiet and just hope what? That we guess that you want? Like, how would I know that this lady on the internet got yachts in her mind? Rashida said, listen, see, that's what I'm saying.
Rashida will send me a yacht in a
People
minute.
out
She'd
here
be like,
looking for
I
yachts.
see your yacht right here.
Rashida, I'm trying to tell Rashida, I sat at this resort, right? You have to, just beautiful, in the middle of the ocean, boat access only.
In
All
the
these
British
people
Virgin
pulling,
Islands.
yes, in the British Virgin Islands, all these people pulling up on dinghies. My mom and I are oceanside at dinner, okay? I told her order whatever she wants. She ordered in 2 entrees. She got a little too comfortable. And I looked out at the night sky and the boats, and I literally thought, Stephanie's yacht might be here. And why did I think that? Because you said it. I would not know it if you had kept it to yourself.
That's right.
I wouldn't know it, right? I sent her the rental website. I was like, girl, you know you could rent a yacht. Okay. How do y'all know Stephanie ain't gonna rent a yacht? Listen to me projecting your future. Meet a nice yacht owner while renting the yacht. And boom, bam, bam. Okay, and the next thing y'all do, y'all on YouTube talking about, oh, she did say she wanted
my friend got a yacht. My friend got a yacht.
I'm like, listen, which life are you trying to live? You better throw that thing out into the universe.
That's
because
right.
I told y'all I went to the little sound bath and I spoke that thing out into, I had told friends, and I had a friend send me a sound bath in Missouri, right? It was great. God said, I got something better.
Yeah.
God was like, girl, forget a room in Missouri. How about the desert?
In a healing vortex.
Underneath in a healing vortex, which I still don't understand the vortex thing, but God bless it. It was wonderful.
That's it.
Okay, with a beautiful white woman with whatever she listen under the sky. I'm looking at the Big Dipper, thinking, well, this is an elevation of what I asked for.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Exceedingly abundantly
Hello,
beyond
I didn't even
all
ask
you
for this.
could
I was
ask.
like, Lord, I was gonna go to Missouri and look up at the ceiling tiles, and I'm gonna do that too. And she's gonna get my money next month.
Yeah.
This is the main. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Okay. Yes. Say it, and say it to your people. So if you've experienced saying things that you want out loud and it's been a negative experience, that was just the wrong group.
Hello.
Right? It was just the wrong people.
And that's the thing. People think that when they say it and it gets rejected, that it's not valid.
Right.
You just got the wrong audience.
That's it. That's it. That's it. We know that. We know that. We know that.
You know how many people told me not to go natural? Good.
Oh gosh.
That's what you know. How many people told me not to go natural back in the day, who are now asking me hair questions? You're not gonna get a job. You can put that on the internet. You're putting what? Why people are gonna find you and kill you? Why would you? No, girl, just all of that.
Wow.
You're not. I don't know, Rashni. I don't know. Have you seen what your hair is like when it's without the relaxer? What if you can't do anything to it? Girl, I got so much because you have to remember I was doing this a long time ago.
Before.
And I was just
before times.
Listen, it wasn't like it is today. And I just got so much negative messaging. And I remember back then just thinking, but I want to see what my hair feels like. And I had done a job. They had done a drug test and cut a big plug out of my hair, girl. Oh,
No.
right back here. A humongous plug out. And so my relaxer is growing out and I keep playing with this hair. And I remember thinking, this don't feel like what they told me was coming out of my scalp.
Okay.
Which is sad because I didn't even know what my hair I didn't know what my hair felt like.
I didn't know.
I got the messaging that so I mean, come on now. If I had listened to all those people, my hair would be relaxed. I would be afraid, and I would be living something that was not in alignment with who I actually am.
And this whole new life, this whole world that you've created for yourself wouldn't exist.
Would not exist.
And we wouldn't be able to just go up in Target and buy products with shea butter.
Come on now.
Right? Because
come on now. There are literal people who have products in Target who are my online friends that we started at this. I could inbox them right now and be like, hey girl, blah, 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 blah.
That's right. That's right. A movement, right?
It
a
wouldn't
movement
exist.
would not exist.
It wouldn't exist.
If 2 or 3 women had listened to what everyone was telling them. It would not exist. I would not be sitting here looking like this today, right?
What you say to me, you're the reason I have hair. And I was like, oh, wow, okay, God bless it.
Right? Yeah, it would not exist. Same for what we do, right? Same for the movement that Rashida and Adelia and I and Wanda and I shouldn't have started naming names because I'm sorry, but right, the same movement would not exist if if a couple people had listened to everyone say, no, you can't do that. Mexico is dangerous. And if you quit your job, you're ruining your life, right? All it would have taken for a movement to not forget, not even talking about how my life would be different, but how would the world be different, right? So many Black women right now are house sitting with their children, with their mothers, with their friends, on their own, writing books, doing that, right? Because we didn't listen to what the people whose life we didn't want had to say. Right? So the tree with the fruit, right? We didn't listen. We didn't pick the fruit from the tree. We didn't, you
want.
said it better.
I know. I know. But you got it. You
All
got it
because
there.
of that.
Yeah.
All because of that. So
Yeah.
Melanie says, say it to your people. We agree with that 1,000%. Say it to your people.
Yeah. Just because you say it to them doesn't mean that, and they negate it doesn't mean that it's negated.
No. You
Right?
just got to find the right
Yeah, find the right people.
That's right. Okay, one last thing. Find the right people. I have one last spot in my YouTube Success Challenge, vicarious.com/challenge. I believe one more. If you go over there and it says it's full, then it was just filled up while we were talking.
Well,
We start on Monday. If what you want to do is talk your talk on the internet, right? I recommend YouTube, and the challenge is 40 Black women starting their YouTube channels together, or jump starting. Some have channels already, jump starting their YouTube channels together. One last spot at vicarious.com/challenge, but we'll do it again in July, so don't worry. All right? If you go there and it says it's full, just get on the wait list, and then I'll tell you about it in July. Okay, so some of you guys will see very soon in Palm Springs. Okay, Rajni, how do we want to close out?
I don't know.
Okay, so
May the Lord watch between me and thee while we are absent. I told you I'm
from
churchy.
another.
One from another.
One
Oh,
from-
you knew it.
I am too. Rajni is so surprised that I know church.
I didn't know that Stephanie was as churchy as she is. So then I can
It's in
unleash
there.
the churchy part of my jokes. I was like, you better come on with the benediction. Okay.
It's in there. But okay, okay. So Rajni's YouTube channel, Rajni's Instagram, Rajni's Facebook are all Glamazini.
Yeah, it's all the same.
More of this.
It's me.
More of this. Okay, friends. Thank you so much for joining.
Of course, this was so much fun. I'm gonna get more coffee though.
Okay.
Because we started early.
Get started. Yeah. I don't know. Are we going to? Is it nap time or are we starting a day?
You know me and the breakfast. I'm gonna go start the breakfast.
Okay.
I don't know what y'all gonna do.
Okay.
I might go outside and lay in the sun, but I'm gonna go start me a breakfast.
Okay, friends. All right. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much, Rajni.
Thank you for having me.
Bye, guys.
Bye, you guys.
Okay, this is the part where it takes me 10 seconds
To figure out.